Jody Watley the biggest threat to Janet Jackson's throne? Okay, it's an interesting question. My short answer is maybe, I suppose. But if Jody was the biggest threat, she was still quite a distance apart from Janet Jackson. With that said, let's be clear. Jody had it going on in the late 80s. Her 1987 debut self-titled solo album is considered by many to be one of the best dance albums of that era. It took the music world somewhat by surprise. Jody went on to win the Grammy for Best New Artist in 1988. My uncle, who is a big Janet fan by the way, used to play the heck out of Jody's debut album, so I knew every song on that record, word by word, note by note, like the back of my hand. Some of the songs on the album: Looking for a New Love, Still a Thrill, Some Kind of Lover, Most of All, and my favorite cut, Don't You Want Me. Just to name a few. It's a great album. Of course, as I stated in a previous video that I did on Karen White, Janet is, well, Janet. So it was clear after the phenomenal success of her iconic 1986 Control album that she was the queen of dance pop music. And of course, I also knew every note and lyric to each song on that project. My uncle played the Control album religiously. So let's fast forward to 1989. While Janet is clearly the biggest artist at this point, her and Jody are facing similar challenges. How to make a great album following the smash success of a previous project. So in March of 1989, Jody released her follow-up project, Larger Than Life. The lead-off single was Real Love, followed up by Friends featuring Aaron B and Rakim, and Everything. A solid album. Okay, so my inspiration for this video was an article written by Linda Romine of Cox News Service, published in the Charlotte Observer on June 30th, 1989. Jody Watley uses femininity and fun to go after Janet Jackson's fans. Jody Watley is giving Janet Jackson a run for her money. With their light, little girl voices, both can coo with innocence, but Watley's dark, almond-shaped eyes beckon with the come-hither look of a seductress. Their dance moves are sly, slick, and funky, but Watley's, like her taste in fashion, are more feminine and fun. Jackson favors man-tailored suits with shoulder pads the size of Rhode Island, while Watley will perhaps be indelibly etched in the minds of music video viewers in the black tully skirt, spiky heels, and lacy leggings that she flaunted in Looking for a New Love. Of course, Chicago native Watley is not the household name that Jackson is. She lacks the sibling of superstar status Janet enjoys as Michael's little sister. And although her self-titled debut album went platinum, Watley's effort was not to stop the press's smash that Janet's Control proved to be either. Yet shortly after Janet Jackson ripped her way into the heartbeat of American dance music, there was Jody Watley, picking up her Grammy Award as 1988's Best New Artist, where Watley has a chance to eclipse the ranks of Jackson clones that includes Siedah Garrett, Karen White, and Paula Abdul, not to mention the Thriller's older sister LaToya Jackson is in the concert hall. The stylish, 30-ish singer is on her first tour as a headliner this month. She most likely is out to prove there is more to her than the sultry vamp who meets the eye. Although she was born in Chicago, Watley frequently moved throughout the United States with her family. When she was 15, they landed in Los Angeles. With Diana Ross, Tammy Terrell, and Marvin Gaye as her idols, Watley set her sights on a singing career. When it failed to take off, she tried tackling Europe. After living in England and France for a time, she returned to the US in triumph. After the success of her first album, Jody Watley, with its 4 hit singles, Watley is touring to promote her current album on MCA Records entitled Larger Than Life. It is produced by Andre Simone. Who, along with Patrick Leonard of Madonna fame, worked on Watley's dance-anchored first album. Watley, a single parent of a young child, wrote 11 of the dozen songs in Larger Than Life. Real Love, a funky pop tune along the lines of Watley's mega hit Looking for a New Love, is the record's first hit single. Other songs include the ballads Precious Love, Only You, and Everything, along with a surprise of sorts in the rap tune Friends, which features her sharing vocal honors with rappers Aaron B. and Rakim. And what of Watley's song, What You Gonna Do For Me? One can only ponder its similarities to a recent hit single, What Have You Done For Me Lately, by none other than Janet Jackson. Now, I thought this was a good article, nice details on Jody's background and career. Even though I thought the writer's comments about Janet's style of dress was a little mean and uncalled for, the article was somewhat insulting to Janet and came across a little dismissive of her success. but maybe I'm just overreacting a little bit. Anyway, here's a different headline, same article published in the Longview News-Journal. Sultry, Sirens, Jody Watley, Janet Jackson, and a battle for fans. So even though there was absolutely no evidence of a beef between Jody and Janet whatsoever, there was a competitive narrative being debated in the media. I think while Jody and Janet seemed like comparable artists on the surface, the trajectory of their careers were in significantly different directions. Jody was a little older than Janet. She was a mother. She spent time living in Europe. She had a very different life experience than Janet, both in the real world and in show business. Her success in Shalimar and then as a solo artist is remarkable indeed. Standing ovation. Janet struggled to find her musical identity in the early years of her career. She had to find the right sound, the right look, which producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis certainly helped her achieve. This process eventually, gloriously produced Janet's Control album. Janet's follow-up to Control, Rhythm Nation, was released later in 1989, about 6 months after Jody's Larger Than Life. The album was an even bigger success than Control and catapulted Janet to another level, even higher above her R&B pop sisters like the very talented Jody Watley. Rhythm Nation, as well as her next 3 albums, pretty much solidified Janet as the greatest soulful dance pop artist of her generation. And in my opinion, it's not even close. Do you think Jody Watley was the biggest threat to Janet's throne in the late 80s? Or was it another female artist? Share your comments. Make sure you hit the like button and I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. Here at Soulful Charts, we got the receipts. Thanks for joining me again. Peace.